What is up, y'all? It's your girl Brand New, and I'm back in the building. And this time, honey, I am back for part 2 of the Bow Wow series, honey. Bow Wow, better known as Shad Moss, was born on March 9th, 1987, which makes him a Pisces. Bow Wow has been a part of several different TV shows such as Growing Up Hip Hop Atlanta, CSI, and he also was a former host of 106 in Park. He also acted in films such as Lottery Ticket, Roll Bounce, Like Mike, and Medea's Big Happy Family. Bow Wow reached the top of the charts with songs like Bounce With Me, Fresh As I'm Is, Puppy Love, Ghetto Girls, and Like You featuring Sierra.
I did Puppy Love, I got real frustrated. So I mean, Bow Wow, that's my name, was cool. Bounce With Me was real fun, because that was the first video. But the third one, it was hectic. I really didn't like, I was lazy, I didn't want to do much. So videos get old after a while. So you keep doing them, but they make them fun for you. Up there, I just lose control. I go up there and I'm jumping on speakers, jumping on everything. I'm bouncing off the walls when I get on stage. It's an excellent feeling. Once I hear that crowd scream, they start barking like dogs. It's over. When I always do kid stuff. I play basketball. I go get my best friends. We'll go shoot basketball. Super suckers, go swimming, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm only 14, so I do a lot of things, So I'm still a kid. I do pranks, so it's all fun.
He was only 14. I'm looking at him, y'all. He looked like he was 8. Oh.
I don't have no girlfriends, but, I be looking, so. You can't stop from looking, man, so I be looking at girls.
Look, that's what his ass should be doing now, just looking. But we go let Lil Bow Wow, this is from the past when he was a little kid, so we gonna give him a little pass, but.
What was it like dealing with girls? Because, I'm sure girls liked you when you were younger and everything else like that, but being a superstar kind of puts you in a different platform. Mm-hmm. Girls look at you different.
Right.
But you're only 13.
Right.
So how did that work back then?
It was crazy because I had girls my age that loved me, but like I said, I was young. I was a teenager, so Jermaine pretty much became like the father figure. Okay. And, watching the type of women that he would have around, it fucked my head up. It fucked me up.
What do you mean?
When I would leave Jermaine in the summer to go back to Ohio for a couple months, I could not talk to girls in Ohio again.
Why is that?
I've never seen women built like this before. Fine as hell.
Yeah.
And everything Jermaine had, I wanted. And it fucked me up. So, true story, I remember Jermaine and them went out to the Gentleman's Club, one of the hottest strip clubs, if not the best strip club of all time, in Atlanta, right? And they go, and of course I couldn't get in, but all the strippers knew who I was. So I had all the girls come outside by the car. So when Jermaine and Nelly was walking out, they hearing, what the fuck is going on? Bow Wow hanging out the window. We got all the strippers outside the window. So when people look at me now and it's like, oh, why does he like strippers? Oh, why do they go to the strip club? Oh, why? It's because of my upbringing. That's what I was brought up on.
And he should not, you guys, he should not have been around that. We have to remember with our young boys, they are not men. They don't know nothing about no sex. They don't know nothing about being around strippers. And, he was just way too young for all of that. But it's very similar to how Diddy did Usher. Usher was at strip clubs and, hanging with Diddy and, Diddy's whole crew, they were grown, and Usher, was just a kid hanging around, and he saw too much. And I think that's why today, honey, Usher still like him some older women, honey, because he ain't let that little phase that he was going through, he ain't let that go. Okay?
Raised in Atlanta, Jermaine's like my mentor / father figure. I see them do it. When I get older and I get my bank up, I want to do it. So when it came to women, it was kind of like I really wasn't fucking with none my age. I wanted older women. Okay. I wanted the women that Jermaine had. I wanted.
What did I just say?
All his women. And that fucked it up. That's like having Kobe beef, then you go back and one of your boys take you to go get a quarter pounder. That quarter pounder cool.
Right.
But until you had Kobe beef, you don't really want that quarter pounder no more.
Okay.
So, yeah.
What age did you start messing with women
now? No bullshit. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like around 15, 16.
Okay, that's not that young.
Yeah, I was nervous. I mean,
as we all were.
Yeah, I was nervous. Motherfuckers like, I was hearing shit like Rebel Pop. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. The motherfuckers supposed to protect us. What you mean they break?
Oh, Rebels Pop. Okay.
Yeah, I'm like, that's gonna be my first time I go and my shit popped, and next thing you know, I got a baby. I would always think about that. I'm like, man, watch my first time my shit break. I keep hearing about this shit. And then I just kept it cool until I felt like I was put in a situation where, I had no choice. I gotta go in. I gotta go in.
Your first album comes out, 3 million sold.
Yeah.
Sure you bought your mom a house and everything else like that. Well, your mom is your manager, right?
Yeah. She does. My mother handles. She was doing the music stuff now, but because as I get older, my knowledge, I start gaining knowledge about the game, and then, me being out here really doing the work, it can make you feel like you know more than, the person who sits in the office. So we didn't want that to jeopardize our relationship as mother and son. You see a lot of stories about, these young Hollywood kids and, their parents, how they fall out. It's like I never want the business to fuck up our relationship as mother and son. So before I can do that, I'd rather get you something that's more peaceful. Mom, you should just handle the TV and film stuff.
Okay.
And ever since, it's been like cool sailing, and we handle all the rah-rah shit.
Right. So you come out, make millions of dollars.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's time for your second album to come out.
Yeah.
Okay. And you say Pharrell worked with you on the second album?
Yeah, Pharrell worked on the second album, for sure.
Okay.
For sure.
Now, is this, how early is this in Pharrell's career? I'm just trying to...
This is early. This is, Little Kim, Ray J, wait a minute, early. This is way before Drop It Like It's Hot.
Nelly Hot in Here?
Yep, all of that.
Nori, Nothing?
Yep.
Right around there. Yeah, I remember that's when I moved to New York, 2002. Okay, so Pharrell is kind of getting on fire at this point.
Oh, he's smoking.
Yeah.
Smoking.
Yeah. So, that second album, how much does it sell?
Woo! First week, Jermaine knew he was going to have a crazy-ass first week because of this.
Happened,
so it's like 3 million over time. Bought this one, watching I get the next shit. That means y'all going to rush to it. We sold like 475,000 records the first week.
500,000 the first week.
500,000.
And what did it do overall?
2 million.
Okay, so now you're going multi-platinum every time.
Every time.
Every time.
Every fucking time. Every time.
So as you guys can hear, Bow Wow was on fire. He's very charismatic. He had the dope raps that everybody, wanted to hear. And I told you all, I was a big fan. I was in a child's group, my damn self, and we all love Lil Bow Wow. I think he was just a little bit, he's actually 2 years younger than me, and he looked like a little kid, at the time, but he's blowing up. Bow Wow was just everywhere, And then somewhere down the line, things got very different for Bow Wow in this industry, specifically because he had stopped working with JD, okay? So JD is a big part of Bow Wow's success. We all know that, okay? JD is just like Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis was for Janet Jackson. That was her team. That is who she used to come out with all her hit records. She did the best when, she had records with them. Same thing with Babyface and L.A. Reid. Y'all remember LaFace Records. They had acts like TLC Usher, Tony Braxton. And specifically, I'm feeling like with Tony Braxton, once she kind of strayed from them and had some issues with them, and she went with, another producer, it just didn't quite work that well for her career, so Bow Wow is just like a lot of other artists. I think he felt that he could accomplish his success on his own, and maybe by trying out, these other people out in the industry. Who was he with? Cash Money. And Cash Money to me always had Young Money, Cash Money. I don't know who the hell exactly he was with, but I know he has signed up to be with them, and it's like we never really heard that much from him. We would hear little stuff here and there, but he never had the success the way he did when he was with JD. It's like JD is the one that really cared about him and really had the good music to back up Bow Wow's artistry. The two go hand in hand.
Every time.
Now, by this point, what's your mentality like? You're how old?
15. I'm the hottest motherfucker moving. Matter of fact, even the fucking Like Mike soundtrack sold 500,000 records. Gold. And it was a whole nother ball game at that point. Because once Like Mike came out, that opened me to a whole nother demographic. I never knew what that movie was going to do for my career. To this day, like I see Fab wearing my jersey. Like, Fab called me when he got to LA, like, yo, we need to find a basketball court. I'm like, what we doing? We hooping? Nah, I need a picture of you with this Calvin Cambridge jersey on. So, it didn't hit me until now. And I just seen a recent interview where Drake was even talking about the movie and how much of an influence it played in his life, how much of an impact that movie was for him growing up. And it's just, it was a whole nother level at that time. Double platinum, Like Mike's Out, one of the biggest movies of 2002. And then that's when Jermaine and them said we taking him into arenas. And they thought that he was crazy. It was like, you might want to start him in theaters. It was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. This kid is damn near half diamond already. And I remember walking in them arenas like, how the fuck are we gonna fill this shit up? And them shits sold out every night, 20,000. Black girls. Some shit that's never really been done. Like, I look at like Drake's fans now and like, the guys who might cater to women or their fan bases, it's totally different. It's totally different.
So second album does multi-platinum again. Mm-hmm. Now it's time for the third album.
Shit gets real at this point.
Okay. Now you and Jermaine had a split?
Fell out.
Okay.
Fell out.
What was the falling out over?
Creative differences.
Okay.
Once again, I'm growing up in the game. I feel like I've learned a lot. I've been underneath Jermaine damn near pretty much for a couple years now. Super close with him. And we just kept bumping heads. No different than when your kid turns 16. You about to hit that little rough patch where they start smelling themselves. They start feeling like they're grown. They start feeling like they can take charge. And at that time, I felt like I was smarter than my master. I felt like he was Obi-Wan, and I was like young Anakin. Like, stop fucking holding me back. Like, I'm ready to become like an ultimate Jedi, dude. And he's you're not ready. And it's like, but fuck it. I'm better than you. Like, I can use everything you taught me. I'm younger. I'm a fresher brain, and I'm really out here doing this shit. So I really don't need you. Like, that's how I felt. And he was like, okay, well then do your thing. You can use everything you taught me. I'm younger, I'm a fresher brain, and I'm really out here doing this shit. So I really don't need you. Like, that's how I felt. And he was like, okay, well then do your thing. And I remember breaking his equipment in the studio.
What, you broke his equipment?
Yeah, I broke the equipment. I kicked over like the keyboard and I stormed out and I never came back. And a lot of people don't know, during that third album, that's when I became a man, and a lot of that came from Tip. T.I. was Kawan Prather at the time, KP, A&R at my third album, Unleashed, and at that time I was ready to quit. I didn't even want to rap no more because I was like, it just didn't feel right. Being in studio sessions, not having Jermaine in there, seeing Lil Jon, seeing Jazzy Fade, like all these dope producers work on my project, but it was like being traded to another team after you spent 8 years there. Like, it was weird. And I remember me telling Tip one time, true shit. I said, hey, you can give me a Sprite? Like, you know, like he a runner. I'm like, he's writing, KP got this guy writing my records or, you know, helping me do things in the studio. He's supposed to be like my new Jermaine. Okay, whatever. I'm big. I'm super more famous than T.I. at this point. Right. Hella more famous. I'm like, yo, hey.
Now, that's something I did not know. I didn't know that T.I. was working with him. Interesting.
I'm writing, give me a Sprite. Man, Tip looked at me, and that was a day I kind of start having to, like, grow up. Tip looked at me, and that motherfucker said, hey, check this out here, pimp. I'm going to tell you something right now. Over here, partner, I don't know what y'all do over there, but JD ain't over here. Get your own goddamn sodas around this motherfucker, boy. I'm going to teach you how to be a motherfucking man, boy.
That sound like T.I. And you guys, I used to be crazy about T.I. Oh my God, I loved all his music. I think he's ignorant as a person in his marriage, but that music, honey, is golden, honey. I love T.I.'s music.
No do boys around here, straight up. And I was like, yo. I was like, I don't know if I'm able to work with this motherfucker KP. That's how he talking to me, man. He must not understand. And then, you know, we created a great bond, man. And Tip taught me a lot, man. You know, it was times where I was so angry, I wanted to just diss the hell out of Jermaine on records, and he would be the one to, nah, we're not going to do that. Or, you know, we spent a lot of fucking time together. Like, we wrote that whole third album together. If you look on it, it's my name and Clifford Harris. My name, Clifford Harris. Like, we did the whole third album together, and that was right before he dropped King. This was before Urban Legend was out. Tip was the fucking shit. Like, but it didn't commercially get big for him right until after my third album died down. Then next thing you know, I just saw his motherfucking ATL, and the King album came out. I said, right, this the motherfucker that was in the studio working with me. Like, right. And it was cool. But I learned a lot from Tip. So Tip pretty much filled that void in my life.
That's good that Tip gave him some sound advice, because that wouldn't have worked out for Bow Wow if he would have gotten in that studio and on them records dissing JD, the person that pretty much gave you your start, introduced you to all this success, and just really gave you a big leg up in the game, you know. But boys will be boys.
On that third album, he was there every step of the way.
Now, the third album didn't have the same commercial success.
No, it was gold. Yeah,
it was gold, yeah. Which to most people is great, but after you're going multi-platinum, how did you accept that?
For me, it was a win.
Okay.
Because in my mind, I'm like, okay, we sold like 690 something thousand, and for me, that was a lot to do it without him. You know, I think a loss would have been if I didn't go gold. But the fact that I did go gold, and we did have a record with Baby, and we did put out My Baby with Jagged, and, you know, with Jagged, that kept that So Def shit going on, because we both wasn't signed to So Def at that time. Yeah. And,
wow, another thing I didn't know.
Yeah, that's pretty much how everything kind of like unfolded for that project, right?
All right, you guys, that's all I have to say about this part 2 of the Bow Wow series. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I am your girl, Brand New, and I will check you guys out later.